morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to be taking a little bit of a look at a brand new Hydreigon card. Yeah, that's right. There's a new Hydreigon card coming. Now, it's actually coming out as part of the Grimmsnarl VMAX deck. Now, I did show you Grimmsnarl V and Grimmsnarl VMAX the other day. I will pop links to both of those in the description. But we got Hydreigon, and Hydreigon looks pretty good. Our translation here, of course, comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet, one of our very favourites. Now, starting off with the basics here, we got 160 HP, which is fine for a Stage 2. It's about what we would expect. Nothing terrible, nothing amazing. Retreat cost of 3 occupies that awkward situation where you don't get extra HP with buff padding, but you don't get free retreat with air balloon. It's the worst retreat cost we've got in the game at the moment, so boo hiss, etc. And weakness to grass is entirely reliant on how good that Rillaboom thing actually ends up being. Rillaboom looks like it might be really good, and I'm hearing a lot of favourable reports coming out of Japan. If it turns out that Rillaboom is awesome, then yeah, this is a bad thing. Otherwise, we're fine. And you are a Darkness Pokemon. That means Black Market Prism Star. If you've got an energy attached, you don't give up a prize. One of the very few Prism Stars that will survive rotation. It means Weavile GX to move your energy around. It's not all bad. Not to mention that new Psychic Pokemon like Indeedee V, for instance, are all going to be weak to Darkness. So there are some things to celebrate here. But what does it do? Well, clearly here, we are focused primarily on the ability. You can already see the attack is not amazing. And the ability here is one that should sound kinda familiar. As often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Darkness Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Oh, it's Blastoise, or Emboar, or Magnezone. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of a million different Pokemon we've had over the years that allow you to attach as many energy from your hand to your Pokemon as you like. We could go right back to the base set here and go, well, hang on a second, isn't that what the first ever Blastoise did? Yes. Yes, it did. So, the real question then becomes, alright, is this any good? Is it going to see any play? Now, there is a lazy answer to this, and the lazy answer is, well, hang on a second. We currently have 2 Magnezone with this ability. 1 Metal, 1 Lightning. And neither of those Pokemon are really seeing any play. This is another Stage 2. With the same ability, why would it see play? Okay, then. Fair point. But then again, we could just as easily go, hang on a second, didn't an Emboar with this ability win the World Championships? It did with Magnezone Prime. Double Stage 2 deck. Didn't a Blastoise with this ability win the World Championships? Why, yes. Yes, it did. Although it is worth mentioning that was with Archie's Ace in the Hole, which was a cheaty way to get out Stage 2s. So it's not necessarily that fair a comparison, because it did have a cheaty way to get the Stage 2. The point is, I can give you 2 different Pokemon with this exact ability that have literally won the World Championships, so just saying, oh, it's the same ability as that Magnezone that no one's playing at the moment, it's rubbish, I don't think is a fair assessment. However, we do need to bear in mind that actually that is still a relevant consideration. It doesn't mean the card is garbage, you're going to see no play, but it is absolutely relevant. The thing is, what are you playing it with? I mean, really, the best we've got at the moment is probably Duskmane Necrozma. And for a while, Magnezone Duskmane Necrozma did look like it was going to be a really good deck. But it kind of maxed out at 220 damage, and then you had to discard 3 of them, and you had to get the energy back. And to be fair, you had Mount Core in it, but it was also in this format where it just wasn't quite good enough, if that makes sense. Stage 2s just weren't good enough. Having said that, shortly before that, Vikavolt was really good, and even nowadays, Rillaboom's seeing a bunch of play, so maybe we don't dismiss Stage 2s quite as easily now as we used to. Honestly, the message here is clear. Do you have a good enough partner? Because yeah, Blastoise won the World Championships, but it had both Caldeo and Black Kyurem, and that's how you ended up getting a World Championship deck. Emboar had Magnezone, which had an amazing attack which could KO anything by lost zoning a bunch of energy. Looks kind of familiar to a recent Pokemon. And an ability to let you draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Little tip for anyone going back and playing this deck nowadays, always get Magnezone first. No, I know you can get a KO right now. Always get Magnezone first. There we go. Whereas when you look at Magnezone, the more recent Magnezone, you don't have the partners. So the question becomes, what partners do we have for Hydreigon? And the obvious one is, well, it came in the Grimmsnarl V deck. So how about Grimmsnarl V and Grimmsnarl VMAX? To be honest, probably should have called it the VMAX deck. Now, Grimmsnarl is fine. 3 Darkness Energy, 200 damage. You have to return a couple of energy to your hand. This attack, incidentally, makes a lot more sense now that we've got Hydreigon. Because when I looked at that first time round, we hadn't seen Hydreigon, and we went, oh, well, hang on a second. You're putting energy back in your hand, and there's no easy way to reattach it. Clearly, there is now an easy way to reattach it, so that's all right. Problem is, 200 damage is acceptable, but it's not particularly amazing. Really here, we're better off with something that can get a one-hit KO on Zacian, for instance. Now, if we look at Grimmsnarl VMAX, we do run into a slightly similar problem. You see, this one can actually do up to 270 damage. It does 170 damage for free energy, but then you can add up to 2 Darkness Energy, and for each one you do an extra 50. You can attach a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, but they don't do any extra damage. So with 5 energy you do 270. But my conclusion on this was fairly simple. Charizard does 300. And that's a big difference. And it really is as simple as that. The 270 is fine if you're against something like a Reshiram and Charizard, or a Mewtwo and Mew. Doing 270 damage against them is great, you get a one-hit KO. But against something like Arceus and Dialga and Palkia, you can still get a one-hit KO, but now you need to add in a Vitality Band, which is one more thing that can go wrong. And against VMAXs, you're just miles away, it's not happening. But I do think there are better partners. I think Grimmsnarl VMAX is fine. Incidentally, right, shout out to Pokemon for giving us, and by us I mean people in Japan, a deck with an exclusive Pokemon V and a Pokemon V Max, and then giving us them another really quite nice Stage 2 that helps get it rolling. That's kind of cool to get in one go. I'm kind of in favour of that. So that's all nice and lovely, but I think we have better partners. Because we've actually got, let's say, bevy of tag team Pokemon that are Darkness that can really, really benefit from this. And let's not forget, we've still got Weavile. So if you attach to one Pokemon, there is nothing to stop you using Weavile to then move it around to another. Or, I don't have the Pokemon I want right now, so I'll attach it to any of my Pokemon knowing I can move it later. We've got Mega Sableye and Tyranitar. 5 energy, 210, but if you take a KO, you take 1 more prize card. Yeah, that's pretty good. 5 energy, 250, 10 energy, 250, and discard the top 15 cards of your opponent's deck. This should be outside the realms of feasibility. This should not work. We should be looking at this and going, oh, you know what? Yeah, no. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's no. But instead it actually works. Because we've got Hydreigon, we can get the 10 energy on there, and I assure you, right, if you can pull off this attack, you will win an awful lot of games. If you can KO their only real attacker while discarding a quarter of their deck, and that's a quarter of their starting deck, bearing in mind that I've lost a bunch of cards early for drawing and playing and all of that, then you're golden, you're going to be rocking it. Obviously, along with that, you have Umbreon and Darkrai, which does 150 to the active and 60 to one of your opponent's benched EX or GX Pokemon. So that's pretty nice, and that helps to soften them up to get a KO with Mega Sableye and Tyranitar. Again, it's an expensive GX attack, but if you put 6 Darkness Energy on there, your opponent is trainer locked, and that's all trainers, not just items, and you get an automatic one-hit KO on anything. So that's pretty nice. And let's not forget that we've got Greninja and Zoroark coming in that does 30 damage plus 30 more for each Darkness Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Incidentally, a great Pokemon to come along and sweep up after you've used Mega Sableye Tyranitar's GX attack. Something to bear in mind. The GX attack gets Pokemon out the discard pile. I'm not loving it. If you could get Hydreigon out your discard pile, I'd be liking it a lot more, but it only gets EXs and GXs, and it can attach energy, but it's not a GX attack that I love. Sorry. I think there is a lot of potential here, because if you're not using Hydreigon, your alternative is basically playing Weavile to move energy around, and then playing red and blue to get 2 energy on, while you evolve Weavile, but that is your supporter for the turn. And using Naganadel, but then you need multiple stage 1s on the bench. And the thing is, with Naganadel Weavile, you can maybe get 3 or 4 energy a turn and you can build it up, but you're not getting a gigantic 10 energy surprise GX attack with Mega Sableye and Tyranitar. That's not possible. It is with Hydreigon. I cannot tell you Hydreigon is going to be a metagame defining card, because the fact of the matter is, we've got Magnezone, and that's not been a metagame defining card. The thing is, we've had 2 Pokemon with this ability in the past, at least, assuming I haven't missed one, that have won the World Championships. And the difference was they had good partners. And I think Hydreigon has good partners. And if you can get Hydreigon rolling consistently, and in the modern format it's way easier to get Stage 2s out, and you can get enough energy out quick enough, this could be a really devastating deck. Unlike the attack, 2 darkness, 1 colorless, 130, it kind of sucks. It's not out and out unplayable garbage. It is an attack where you go, oh, I'm only playing basic Pokemon or GXs or whatever. I need a single prize Pokemon / evolve Pokemon, whatever, to attack with. Guess I'll use Hydreigon. But that's the only time you'd ever use it. I'm still giving this 4 Wassies. And I know I've seen a bunch of comments already from people that are down on it because it's just Magnezone for Darkness Pokemon. But the thing is, when I look at Magnezone, either of them, I'm just not seeing the partners. Even something like Pikachu and Zekrom, we've proven we can use that effectively without a Stage 2. I think this could make some of these GXs for Darkness, the tag teams at least, way better. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, or you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have any Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.